butter. So you're going to cream your butter and sugar together. First, you want
take it, you slide it right between the tires. What's up, people? Hey, are you a new food truck owner and looking for a good way to keep your generator and other large items from moving all over the inside of your trailer or food truck when you're going down the road? I got you. Now, what we have here is called E-Track. It's really easy to install. It usually comes in 4 or 5 foot lengths. And you simply just put it down. It has holes every couple inches. You can screw your wood screws directly into it, wherever you need it, to make sure that it's going to be able to hold what you're trying to hold down. And then it comes with these cool little ratchet straps. One end will go on one side, the other end comes on this side. Has a little spring load on it. Put it in there. You feed it through. That's simple. It's not going nowhere. Hey, you need more tips and tricks? Check out the link in the description at KK Nation on our YouTube channel, and you can pick up this E-Track. Also, this links will be in the description. All right, peace.
welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Another session for In the Kitchen with Lil Mama. I'm Lil Mama, and today we are going to be making strawberry shortcake cookies on a scale of 1, meaning you buy the dough from the store, your refrigerator case in the store, and cut them out and put them on a pan, to 10, meaning you probably need a degree or some culinary experience to make these cookies. These are about a 5 or a 6. It's 2 steps. Not very, for me, not very difficult, but it won't be difficult for you either, because you're going to make it right here with me. We've got all the ingredients we need right here. I've taken the time to puree the strawberries ahead of time. I like to do that because I don't like strawberry chunks in anything. So I usually puree, anytime I'm making anything strawberry, I usually puree it first. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need a stick of butter. All right, and you're going to take your stick of butter and half a cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and you're going to put it in your mixer and get that to go and mix your butter and sugar together. It's going to be all nice and fluffy. When we get done, you know how much we like fluffy butter, fluffy sugar butter. Okay, so you're going to do that. Because what we're doing basically is a 2-part thing. It's going to be cookies, sugar cookies, or strawberry sugar cookies with a little bit of strawberry in them and a cream cheese filling. So when you break it open, you're going to see the cream cheese on the inside, and these are amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so we're going to make that go a little faster so we can make it fluffy. And then after this gets fluffy, we're going to add the egg. Again, this is not going to take long. You're going to see it in real time, how it gets fluffy in the when it gets mixing together. You're only going to need a half a cup of sugar for this part, because you're already going to have sugar for your strawberries. You're going to take maybe about a cup of fresh strawberries, some sugar, a little bit of lemon juice. Put it in the blender. If you want to puree them like I did, put them in the blender. So you've already got sugar here and here, so you're not going to need to add extra sugar in this one. The recipe calls for a cup of sugar, but you're going to split it between the strawberries and what you're actually making for the cookies, okay? So as this is mixing, you're going to want to make sure you scrape your bowl, okay? Even though you have a attachment, most of us have, if you have a stand mixer, you have a paddle attachment. If you don't have a stand mixer, that's fine. Use your hand mixer. You're definitely going to need to scrape your bowl so that you can make sure all the ingredients are getting mixed together like they need to be, okay? So we're going to get that started again. This is a good recipe for if you want to make something with strawberries. You got some extra strawberries. It's almost strawberry season. And strawberry season starts around February and then goes all the way through the summer. I think the last time you can get some good fresh strawberries is probably May or June. So if you got some extra strawberries, maybe you went to a strawberry picking farm and got some, You're going to want it. This is a easy way to get rid of them other than just eating them. I would probably just, get some Cool Whip or some whipped cream and go to town with them. But this is a good way to do it if you want to make some, something kind of fancy. All right, so then we're almost done with our butter here. Almost. It's getting fluffy. It's mixing together. You want to make sure your butter and sugar is creamed together good. With any recipe where you got butter and sugar together, you want to cream your butter and sugar because that helps the rest of your ingredients get incorporated really well. And the next step we're going to put in here is the egg and the vanilla and then the flour. After we add the flour, we're going to add the strawberries because you want to make sure you don't, you're adding just enough, okay? Because you don't want your dough to be soupy. Did that already. First time I made this recipe, I was like, oh, we can make this. I don't have to follow the instructions. Yes, you do. Cream your butter and sugar together, okay? Makes a difference. All right, I'm gonna scrape the bowl one more time and then let it mix it a little longer, and then it will probably be just right. You're gonna preheat your oven to 350. Get your cookie sheet together, prior to this or while this is mixing, if you want. Put some parchment paper, or if you don't have parchment paper, some anything down on it, and your cookies come off of it really well, then you don't have to. I would grease some flour, or at least grease the pan. That's just me, because I want to make sure my cookies don't stick. I use parchment paper. In fact, I've got my pans already ready to go. I've got parchment paper that I use, and it just makes it easier for cleanup. The cookies stay right there. No problem. I don't have to worry about them sticking at all. Okay, so now that our butter and sugar is fluffy, we're going to add our egg. I'm going to turn this down. We're going to add our egg. Okay, and get that all mixed together. Make it, like Emerald would say, let it get all happy. I'm going to scrape it again because, again, it's not a big amount. So you want to make sure you everything gets mixed in together really, really well. At this point, you could also add about a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. So at this point, you're going to add your vanilla, got your egg in there. Your butter and sugar is all nice and fluffy. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. Get that all incorporated and mixed together right there. Stand mixers are wonderful because you don't have to stand there and hold the mixer. Not that there's not, trust me, I started out with hand mixer. I still have some. When I go places and it's just not conducive for me to bring, a big stand mixer. And there's no one stand mixer that's better than the other. I tend to go for KitchenAid because they last longer. They're a little bit more heavy duty. I've even dropped this one. So, and it's, as you can see, it still works fine. This is all mixed together well. Now I'm going to add the flour. This is 2 cups of flour. And the recipe will be down below. So if you don't catch it right now, that's okay. Add the 2 cups of flour. I'm going to mix that together slowly because we don't want a big mess. Don't start your mixer, especially when you add your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients. You don't want to start your mixer on high. You'll have stuff everywhere. Okay, and you want the majority of your ingredients to stay in the bowl. If you have a shield or what they call a splatter shield that sometimes comes with mixers, use it. It's amazing. Just use it. So as you see, this is getting to be kind of thick. This is the way that your dough is supposed to look. Okay, and that's fine. Now I'm going to add, that's all mixed together well. I'm going to add a little bit of the strawberries in there. Okay, because this is a strawberry sugar cookie type deal. And it's going to make the dough a little bit more wet, what we call wet. It's not as sticky, not as stiff as a normal sugar cookie dough. But you see what we got going on here? Okay, so now I'm going to scrape the bowl again, make sure we got all of the strawberries mixed in there, that we don't have, half sugar cookie, half strawberry thing going on. And then I'm going to take it out of this bowl If you have two bowls that you can work with, wonderful, use them. Okay, but I'm gonna take it out of this bowl once I get it all mixed together again, because I got some parts that aren't mixed together totally. That's why we're scraping a bowl. And that's probably about a quarter of a cup to half a cup, maybe about a half a cup of the strawberry puree mixture, okay, that I used. And I'm gonna mix that together again. And then I'm gonna transfer it to a different bowl and let it sit in the refrigerator for a second while I make the filling, okay? Okay, that's mixed together really good. And through the magic of television, we're back. I had to do a quick reset because you have to, we got one bowl. We got one bowl, y'all. We're doing everything in one bowl. You got to wash it out and get it all neat. Anyway, you're going to use 4 ounces for the filling. You're going to use 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is half of the package. So a regular package is 8 ounces. You're going to use half, okay? And 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, quarter of a teaspoon of lemon, if that much. Like I'd put like just like a 1 shot, like boop, boop, that's it. And a little bit of vanilla. You're gonna mix it together, and it's gonna take a second. And this little bitty, it's not a lot, so I would use a hand mixer for this. But since I've already got my mixer clean and everything, we're already doing it. Mix it all together, scrape it down a couple times, mix it all together, scrape it down a couple times, and it'll be fine. This is what the little mixers are for. If you have one of those immersion blenders, this would be great for that in a bowl. You can just and make it do what it do. Okay, so let me scrape my bowl real quick. This is going to be the filling that's going to go inside of the cookies. I'm going to take the dough that I just made out of the refrigerator. Like I said, while you're doing this part, your dough could be getting chilled. It makes it easier to handle. Pro tip, anytime you're making regular sugar cookies, chocolate chip cookies, any of your normal, well, I'd say normal homemade cookies, if you want to be able to roll them out, put it in the refrigerator. Let it sit in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. Once it gets chilled, then you can roll it out and use your cookie cutters to make your shapes or do whatever you want to do with it. Make a little funny things going on. You can do that once the dough is cold. But the dough needs to be cold. Hence why when you're buying your dough from the store, it's in the refrigerator section. Makes it a lot easier to handle once your dough is cold. All right, this is ready to go. I had a little bit left from the last time I made some of this. So we're going to put the rest of that in with this in this bowl. And then we're going to assemble our cookies, okay? And assemble our cookies. I always said if somebody came to my house and wanted to lick the bowl, they'd be mad because the bowl is practically scraped clean. Just about scraped clean. So you got your oven set to 350. You got your pans with your parchment paper or greased and floured so that your cookies don't stick. Ready to go. And I've made a little icing too that I'm going to drizzle on top of them when they get done. But you'll see what they look like when they get done. Okay. Take my handy dandy cookie sheet here. Take a spoon. You can take a scooper if you have a cookie, what they call a cookie scoop. It looks like an ice cream scoop, but it's little. Okay. Take just a little bit, and you're gonna put it on the cookie sheet. Okay. And you're gonna do that I made about 5 of these per cookie sheet, and this yields about 10. This recipe yields about 10 to 15 cookies, depending on how big you make them, of course. If you make them a little bigger, then you're going to yield a little less. To see how the dough is a lot easier to handle when it's cold. So cookie dough, I like dealing with cookie dough when it's cold. And these are going to make your stuffed, what you see as your stuffed cookies. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more to that one. Add a little bit more to that one. A little bit more to that one. Definitely a little bit more to that one. A little bit more to this one. Then we're going to take our filling and plop it right there in the middle. All right. I've made a little indent. You know, you probably can't see that well, but I made a little indent in each one of these. And then you're going to bake these at 350 for about 18 minutes, 15 to 18 minutes, depending on your oven. All right. And then you're going to let them cool. Let them cool on the cookie sheet. Why do we let it cool on the cookie sheet? I'm so glad you asked. You let it cool on top of the cookie sheet because the cookies are actually still baking. And you see, I'm pinching it together, kind of bringing it together a little bit, the top and the bottom. You're going to put a little bit, you're going to take the rest of your cookie dough, or not the rest of it, another portion of it, and put it on top of where you got your cream cheese filling. Now, will a little bit of it come out? Yeah, and that's fine. They're not going to be perfectly encapsulated in this. Okay, it'd be nice if they were. There is a dough that you can do. This is not that recipe, to make it so that you just roll it up in a ball, and then they stay, you know, all put together. I'm making these probably a little bigger than the recipe, the original recipe calls for, but I like a cookie to be a cookie. Okay, so you're going to put these in the oven for about 350 for about 18 minutes, 15 to 18 minutes, depending on your oven. And when they come out, you're going to let them sit. You're going to let them sit for a little while. And when they come out, then you can drizzle them with a very simple vanilla icing, if you so desire. If you don't want to drizzle them with icing, they taste just as good without it. I think so anyway. These are really good. So I made a little divot in there. Make sure I got enough to cover these up. So I made 5 in there. This makes 8. Again, my cookies are a little bit bigger. Okay, they're not little teardrop type cookies. I probably, if I were doing this in my bakery, I would probably double this recipe, and I would definitely make sure that my everything was chilled, because it makes it a lot easier to work with. Even the cream cheese filling makes it easier to work with once it's chilled. I would make sure, so mine will probably sit overnight. Yep, I got just enough. I'm going to pinch the sides and stuff together. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Pinch, pinch, pinch. And then, like I said, these can go in the oven for about 18 minutes. And then after they're done and they're cool, you can serve. Now, to make the glaze that I made, I'm going to take about half a cup of, you're going to take about half a cup of your powdered sugar and about a tablespoon, no more than 2 tablespoons of milk, some vanilla, whisk it until it's smooth, and then you can drizzle it over your cookies after they're cooled, and then you're done. Okay, and we're back. And now you can see what they look like as they're done. These look absolutely amazing. It has my house smelling like heaven in here. And of course, you know we got to try one. Let me show you what they look like on the inside. Oh my goodness. Look at here, look at here, look at here, look at here. These look great. So we're going to taste it. And they taste just as good. This is good. You can taste the strawberry in it, taste the cream cheese, and the icing just adds that extra touch. Okay? So this is what they look like when they're done. They taste amazing. These are really good. These are really, really good. Remember to like and subscribe. Smash that like and subscribe button because you want to see more of this. Tell your friends. Make them like and subscribe too. We need to have more people. We want to see more people. And baking is easy and it's fun. I make it fun because it is the business. Anyway, as always, make sure you're kind to somebody. Find somebody to be kind to. It costs absolutely nothing to be kind. The world needs more of it. Like and subscribe. Be kind to me. Be kind to others. Y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.